Have you ever felt like you give so much love to others, but when it comes to yourself, there's nothing left? I know that feeling. After years of walking on eggshells, doubting myself, and carrying scars from a narcissistic relationship, I realized something powerful. The love I was searching for outside had to begin inside. As we begin this guided meditation for self-love and self-compassion, no, this isn't wishful thinking, it's evidence-based healing. Studies show that self-compassion practices reduce stress, anxiety, and depressive symptoms, and help quiet the inner critic that keeps you stuck. Loving-kindness-style meditations build daily positive emotions and personal resources like purpose, resilience, and even social support, exactly what chronic criticism can erode. And a few minutes of slow, steady breathing can nudge your nervous system toward calm by increasing vagal activity. It's making it easier to feel safe in your own body again. Self-compassion also strengthens emotion regulation, the skill that lets you meet tough feelings without being overwhelmed. Stay with me until the end, because I'll share a simple, morning-friendly practice you can carry into your day, even on the hardest mornings. Close your eyes if it feels safe to do so. If closing your eyes feels uncomfortable, keep a soft gaze or look down at one point. Whatever helps you feel steady. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Hold for a moment and let it out gently through your mouth. Again, inhale fully and exhale long and slow. If it helps, breathe in for 4 counts and breathe out for 6. Longer exhales signal your nervous system that it's safe to relax. Bring your attention to your body now. Notice your shoulders. Are they lifted? Let them drop. Notice your chest. Is it tight? Allow it to soften. Feel your belly rise and fall with each breath. With every exhale, imagine the muscles around your shoulders, your jaw, and the space between your brows loosening a little more. This simple, steady attention to breath and sensation is the beginning of calming the body's stress response. Now place one hand over your heart and one hand on your belly. If that feels okay, sense the warmth of your hands, the subtle movement beneath them. As you rest your hands there, name a neutral physical sensation quietly in your mind. Warm, heavy, soft, and then let that label float away. This body scan style noticing helps you reconnect with your internal experience without judgment. And it's a practice method therapists and mindfulness programs use to reduce anxiety and increase emotional regulation. Imagine gentle roots curling from the soles of your feet, reaching down into the ground, not pulling you under, but anchoring you, steady and supported. Feel the weight of your feet, the contact they make with the floor, the sense of gravity holding you. If your mind wanders, bring it back to the feeling of contact and support. Grounding with sensory imagery and movement is a somatic tool used in trauma-informed care to help the nervous system shift from hypervigilance toward safety. If at any point this practice brings up strong discomfort, racing thoughts, or dissociation, slow the exercise, open your eyes, and focus on something in the room you can touch or look at. Name 3 things you see, 2 things you can touch, and 1 sound you hear. Some people experience distress during meditation, so move at a pace that feels safe for you and consider professional support if difficult feelings persist. Take one last deep inhale here. Feel the support beneath you, the rise and fall of your chest, the steady rhythm of your heart. Let your exhale be a soft release. Now that we're grounded, let's begin the process of bringing love inward. Place your hand over your heart and feel its gentle rhythm, the steady beat that has carried you through every moment, through joy and through survival. Breathe into that space. An easy inhale and a long, soft exhale. With each breath, let your attention rest on the warmth beneath your palm. Whisper quietly to yourself, or simply think the words with kindness. I am worthy. I am enough. I am lovable. If saying those phrases feels hard or even impossible right now, that's understandable. Many survivors of toxic and narcissistic relationships find these words unfamiliar or threatening. Research shows self-compassion practices can reduce anxiety and depressive symptoms and increase well-being. And structured self-compassion training produces measurable, lasting improvements. If the phrases feel too large, soften them. May I be kinder to myself, or I am learning to accept myself. There is no single right wording. What matters is the gentle intention behind it, repeated with patience. Now visualize a warm, comforting light glowing in your chest where your hand rests. With each inhale, imagine that light growing brighter and warmer. With each exhale, imagine it gently spreading outward to your shoulders, down your arms, through your belly, into your legs. Loving kindness and compassion practices like this reliably increase positive emotions and build inner resources such as resilience, social connection, and a sense of purpose, the very things that chronic criticism erodes. As the light expands, soften any inner critic into the background. If a harsh thought appears, notice it kindly, name it briefly, that's doubt, and return your attention to the warmth and the breath. Slow, diaphragmatic breathing supports the body's calming systems, increasing vagal activity and heart rate variability, which makes it easier to feel safe in your body and to meet emotions without being overwhelmed. Let your breath be the anchor as the light grows. Allow yourself to feel whatever comes up: relief, numbness, a small flicker of hope, or even resistance. All of these are normal. Practicing this gentle, repeated kindness toward yourself strengthens emotion regulation and reduces the power of shame and self-criticism over time. Self-compassion trains the mind to respond to suffering with care rather than punishment. If at any point you notice overwhelming distress, dizziness, or intense memories, slow the practice. Widen your breath, open your eyes, and return to grounding. Feel your feet, name 5 things in the room. Mindfulness and meditation can be deeply healing, but they can also surface difficult material for trauma survivors. Trauma-sensitive approaches and professional support are recommended when needed. Take 2 more full, nourishing breaths here, in and out, feeling the chest warmth and the steady beat beneath your hand. Let that warmth remind you, your worth is not defined by how others treated you. It is an enduring part of who you are. And there's one more layer we need to add. Because true healing also means embracing the parts of yourself you've judged or pushed away. Think of a moment when you were hard on yourself, a mistake, a moment of weakness, a time you felt not enough. See that memory softly, as if watching a scene on a screen, not to judge it, but to witness it. Allow the details to come and go without gripping them. Now, breathe into that memory and, with the kindness you would offer a close friend, imagine approaching that younger version of you. Notice their posture, their face, the small ways they were trying. Offer them the gentle presence you needed then, a hand on the shoulder, a soft voice, a warm embrace. Say to them, slowly and from the heart, you did your best with what you knew then. That is enough. If words feel awkward, let the feeling of kindness be the message. Let your compassion be embodied, a warmth in your chest that reaches outward and surrounds that younger you. Hold them in your mind for a few breaths. Notice any tightness or resistance and meet it with patience rather than pushing it away. This isn't just a comforting idea. Research shows self-compassion practices are linked to substantially lower levels of depression, anxiety, and stress, and they help build emotional resilience. Therapies and training that cultivate compassion, like mindful self-compassion and compassion-focused therapy, produce measurable improvements in well-being by teaching us to replace self-criticism with a compassionate inner voice. If a critical thought or old shame surfaces while you do this, don't fight it. Name it briefly, that's shame, and then return your attention to the image of kindness and the steady rhythm of your breath. You are retraining an old pattern. Each time you respond with compassion instead of punishment, you weaken the critic's hold and strengthen your capacity to soothe yourself. One practical exercise you can try later is a short, compassionate letter. Write to that part of you that feels wounded. Using the voice of an understanding friend, acknowledging the pain and offering acceptance, even brief self-compassion interventions like letter writing have shown measurable benefits for people struggling with shame and self-criticism. As you finish this segment, breathe in the sense of acceptance you cultivated, let it settle into your bones, and let your shoulders soften. Remember, healing does not come from punishment or perfection. It comes from steady kindness offered again and again. And this final step is what transforms a meditation into a daily practice that rewires your mind for lasting love. Place your hand over your heart and picture tomorrow morning, the alarm, the soft light, the moment before the rush begins. Before you check your phone, before the inbox, take one slow, deliberate breath. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6. Feel your chest rise beneath your palm. Whisper, with gentleness, I am worthy of love, especially my own. This tiny pause, 1 minute, done reliably, does more than feel nice. Repeated short practices like brief guided meditations and mini breathing exercises have been shown to improve mood, attention, and emotional regulation. Over weeks, these small acts build the mental resources that once felt eroded. Here's a simple, repeatable 1-minute script you can use every morning. Sit up comfortably, hand on heart. Breathe in for 4 counts, out for 6. On the exhale, say softly, I am worthy. Repeat once more. Inhale, exhale, I am enough. Close with a brief intention. Today I will choose kindness toward myself. Neurologically, this matters because meditation and compassion practices change how the brain processes emotion. They strengthen networks involved in emotion regulation, perspective, and self-referential thinking. Small, regular practices nudge those networks toward calmer, kinder patterns over time. In other words, your brain literally learns to default to compassion more often. Breathwork is a fast, reliable way to flip the nervous system from fight or flight toward safety. Slow, steady breathing increases parasympathetic activity. And heart rate variability, which supports calm and makes compassionate responses easier to access in stressful moments. That's why a 60-second breath plus affirmation can feel grounding and biologically helpful, not just symbolic. Consistency is the secret. Loving kindness and self-compassion practices, done repeatedly even in short doses, build positive emotions and personal resources, resilience, social connection, and emotional stamina. So the inner critic loses power because you've been training an alternative voice, the voice of care. Fredrickson's loving kindness research and follow-up compassion interventions show that these cumulative effects matter more than any single session. Practically anchor the 1-minute practice to a daily cue. Your alarm, brushing your teeth, pouring coffee. Use an implementation intention like, if my alarm rings, then I will breathe with my hand on my heart for 1 minute. Tiny specific plans massively increase follow-through, and those tiny wins accumulate into a default habit of self-kindness. Over weeks, you'll notice the critic's volume drop and a steadier, kinder inner tone take its place. When you're ready, take 1 full breath now, in for 4, out for 6, and offer yourself that quiet line. I am worthy of love, especially my own. Let it settle. Over time, this daily micro-practice will rewire your responses, so compassion becomes the first reflex, not the last. Take a slow breath in and let it out. We grounded our bodies to signal safety, opened our hearts to remind ourselves that worth is not earned by other people's treatment. We offered compassion to the parts of us that were wounded, and we practiced a tiny, repeatable habit you can carry into each morning. These 3 moves, grounding, self-love, and self-compassion, aren't just comforting words. Repeated practice reshapes how your brain responds to stress, reduces the power of self-criticism, and builds real emotional resilience. Small, consistent acts of kindness toward yourself accumulate. They lower anxiety, quiet rumination, and strengthen your ability to hold boundaries and choose what's healthy for you. If anything in this practice felt intense or brought up difficult memories, that's important to honor. Slow the pace, return to grounding, and seek support if you need it. Therapy, a trusted friend, or a crisis resource are all okay to use. Healing is not a race. It's a careful rebuilding. Before we close, set a simple intention. 1 minute tomorrow morning, hand on heart, 1 breath, 1 kind sentence. That tiny ritual is the signal your nervous system will learn to hear when you need care. If this feels helpful, continue the journey with my video, How to Break Free from Trauma Bonding. Trauma bonds keep us stuck in cycles that undermine self-worth. Breaking them makes room for the self-love you practiced here to grow stronger and more steady. Take 1 more full, nourishing breath now. Feel the warmth in your chest. Remember, you are worthy of love, especially your own. When you're ready, open your eyes gently.